mission, trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Making a transition. I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission, on a mission.
Man, welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy. We're at you again. Listen, there's so much Diddy coverage. We said, you know what? Let's get up here and talk about something different.
Yes, what's going on in the news?
Right. There's way more things going on. You got like this whole thing with the white Afrikaners, Roy Hinton Jr., his thing. I don't even see him in the news no more. I don't even see his story even coming up anymore. You know what I'm saying? So what I got to do is I want to talk about other stuff. So throughout this week, we are going to be hitting on a regular basis, talking about other subjects because enough with there's so many places you can see the Diddy trial. So today we're going to talk about the white Afrikaners that are coming from South Africa. And, quite frankly, the white Americans are like, you know what, go back home. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go into some of that. But the first thing I want to do, because I love Seti, I like his take on certain stuff. So shouts out to Seti. We're going to go into what he found out about this. Let's go into it.
On my YouTube channel, King Seti, General Seti, Sabrasu Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video, a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. White Americans are telling white Afrikaners, take your ass home. Nah.
Listen, so this is Seti's Cash App. Please support his channel. We're going to be reviewing what he says and going into some of the comments that the Afrikaners are saying. I mean, the actual white Americans are saying. And also some of the things that the black Americans are saying. And we're going to just talk about it. It's going to be an open panel. If anybody wants to come up, please, hit the StreamYard link. We're going to do that. But yes, let's go.
You see, there it is. That just show you where the racial lines is drawn. You see, they even cutting into they nothing ass brothers from overseas, telling them you ain't got no place here. You see, it's already hot enough around here as it is. For you to come bring your nothing ass over here and make it even hotter. You see, you bring your nothing ass over here and make it even hotter. And so, they not, these white people over here, they don't want to give nobody nothing. They don't want to give. And so I don't want you to think that they say they not ready to give up nothing. You see, this is their land is the way they look at it. This is their land. They ain't going to share it with nobody. They didn't put Trump in the office to make America great again. And this hammerhead went over to South Africa and went and got some trash. He went and got some trash to bring them over here and to do what we don't know. You see,
you said to do what we don't know. What you think about what he say so far, man?
He said, I don't know what to say on that. That is just so crazy. But keep on playing.
He said to do what we don't know. What is going on? What are they doing? Bring him over here for what? Let's go.
Peep, some, and I had some video. They say they lying about them being farmers. You see, saying some of them over here, the IT job, motherfuckers was working IT job. Motherfuckers wasn't even farmers, so they lying, so they got an agenda. When they talking about, they got ICE running all over the United States, putting motherfuckers out that don't belong here. You see, and in the midst of putting all these peoples out, you gonna go and bring 8,000 nothing ass Neanderthals from South Africa and bring them over here to the United States to do absolutely what? You see, say they refugees,
And where are they
that
going
they
to
over
house them?
there, under
Give them some free
racial
housing.
persecution.
Yeah.
You see that they under racial persecution
Come on.
in a nation.
This is a move from Elon Musk. Okay, he trying to please his daddy Elon. Because my thing is that I don't understand why is it so important to bring them over. You're gonna kick out all the workers and all the Mexicans that are doing work in the fields and stuff and cleaning everybody doing the Elon work and everything. Bump them out, send them back to Mexico. But then you're gonna bring them over here to do what? Exactly. Do exactly what?
And they do a good job at the lawns, and it's crazy.
Man, they be doing all kind of roofing, all that stuff. Shouts out to the Mexicans that be in Texas that be building up this stuff. Shouts out because they be building stuff, building the bridges, building the infrastructure of America. But then
they do work that we can't do. I know I can't do that work.
I'm not fixing to do it. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So if they willing to do the work that we ain't willing to do, and then you want to kick them out.
Yeah, shout out to them.
People and this, that, the other. Then they had a nerd to say, okay, see, these were all criminals. See, they had a thing around the White House where they were showing that they had gotten rid of a bunch of criminals. But I'm like, but you also taking the workers and sending them out too. So, I mean, and then I think they thought that the black people were gonna fill in the blanks, and it's like, no, no, we're not. We're not fixing to do that. Like what? We already was slaves. We already did all that. You know what I'm saying? No.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure this out. They say they're under racial persecution in South Africa, with 75% of the private owned land that can be owned by citizens, 75% of the land is owned by white people. You got to make this shit make sense. And you talking about, you got, not even, they say 8 point, but it ain't even a whole 8%. You talking about 73% of the population own 75% of the land. Ain't even your land. You see, ain't even your land. Is it, and so you got the indigenous people, our brothers and sisters of smashed into these little areas, shanty towns and small areas, while you living on 75% of the farmland and all other kind of land. You see? And so what the problem is, you got the audacity to believe that that's okay. Now I'm trying to see where the persecution come in. Because if you all already own 75% of the goddamn land, what is the fucking goal? To get it all? You just don't want us to, you just want to run us into the sea. You just want to run the indigenous people into the goddamn sea. You was a piece of shit. And whatever happened to you is of your own recourse. This is the thing that you brought upon yourself to believe that you could do some shit like that. But even in the midst of these people saying that they are being racially persecuted in a land where they own, I don't know no other land where 7.3% of the people own 75% of the land, and they ain't even indigenous. I don't, man, that dynamic is crazy. You see, that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic is out of this world. And so not only is this 7.3% own 75% of the land. Looking up, I say, because I've already done these videos,
Mm-hmm.
years ago. Dealing with, what was going on in South Africa, the violence. I did Dr. Death, what's his name? Wutan Bassan, Dr. Death, who was creating all type of biological war weapons to use against black people. You see, he was trying to create all type of biological weapons that were designed strictly for us, in South Africa to take us out because we had such a large majority of people over them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had all these Nazi. I
Monica,
mean, this shit is
wait,
Go ahead.
wasn't they doing genocide too over
Yeah.
there?
And here's the thing:
Yeah.
do you know that there's a different AIDS over there? There's like a South African AIDS, and then there's like a American AIDS. So the AIDS over there, I think, is more crucial over there than it's in over here. And speaking of AIDS, have you seen how like the AIDS rate has grown in America? Out of nowhere,
No.
you see in Philadelphia 100,000 people. It's like this crazy thing. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a show about that too because
Wow.
HIV and AIDS rate is increasing in America out of nowhere, like
But
overnight.
they act like they have this pill. What is it? The pill to
The
slow it
prep. They're trying to
down?
get everybody. They're trying to get the everybody on the prep, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden Philadelphia got more people on, getting HIV. They trying to push that prep pill, right? But in South
Mm-hmm.
Africa, they have a different kind of AIDS, and what he's talking about is like that whole thing that they're using. They were using biological warfare on the South Africans, the black South Africans.
This is on
Yeah,
some
because that's
Nazi
where
shit.
genocide
you
came in.
know.
I
And so
think.
when you think about the regime of South Africa, it is one of the most infamous. You see, genocidal regimes in world history. You see, it's side by side right there with the Nazis. And so as I was looking up, the richest 21 people in Africa, okay? The 21 richest people in Africa. And out of that 21, 7 were from South Africa. So 1/3 of the richest people in Africa are from South Africa.
And the richest
And I had
person, hold
one
on,
year,
and the richest person in America is from South Africa. And now he's running the government. Like what? Like so what's really going on? And that's what we're going to get into later on. I'm going to be talking to Baba Yashabaya about the government behind the government, the unseen government. So I want you
Right.
guys to check us out later on when we talk about that. Come from what I'm hearing is that Trump and all them are from a whole thing called the Federalist movement. There's like a weird thing going on with that. But let's go further into this.
I had to go
Okay.
and look at what video I did, the 20 richest peoples in South Africa. And out of that 20, 18 were white. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this year, you could go to the Forbes magazine and you could look it up. The 21 richest people in Africa, and 7 are from South Africa. Out of that 7, only 1 is black. Only 1 is black. The other 6 are white. So the reality is not only do whites control 75% of the land, they also control 75% of the economy in South Africa. So for a motherfucker to sit here and say
But isn't that due
that
to,
they
wait,
are
hold on.
big, this motherfucker say he been
That's due to the resources over there because of the diamonds, the gold, and all of that. That's where they control all of that land and stuff because of those resources. Hello?
I'm sorry, I was talking on mute. Yeah, so you
Oh,
have this control of the resources, but then you're gonna say that because they found some people in what happened is that you have the white people that have owned farms, and I think that they passed some kind of new law saying that they don't own it no more, and it goes back to the government. So now they're coming back to America. Elon Musk said, "Oh, we need to because they're getting kicked out of their homes. The Africans are coming over there and starting to attack them, and they're now refugees. So now they're like creating this whole refugee thing of them over there. But I'm like, well, bro, so you're gonna kick out all the people that are in Mexico, they're from Mexico, and kick them out, and then bring them in to do what? 8,000 people for what? To do what? To give them free land? Are you gonna get what land are you gonna give them?
right.
When you got black farmers that can barely keep their land, you gonna give them their land? You gonna what's gonna happen? I can't
Yeah,
wait to
because
see
there's a
how
lot
this.
of black farmers that's trying to survive right now because of the economy.
Right. So why wouldn't he instead of spending that money for that? Why don't we put some money back into the black farms that are here and those farms and those people? So let's go.
Right.
And trying to get a job for a year, he couldn't get no job. As if black people control the economy. See the illusion that they putting out there. As if black people somehow is stopping. If that was the case, then why is damn near the 18 of the richest motherfuckers in South Africa white? If they were setting up some type of barrier, you understand, for white people not to get money, then why is there still 18 of the richest people in South Africa? Why are they still white? Don't look like they doing no good goddamn job to me. If that's the case, because there's no way the 20 richest people in South Africa should be white.
Right.
It shouldn't be that way. It's no way in hell that you can make me. That's damn near, man. Listen, they control the economy.
It don't even exist in America. Well, no, it doesn't exist in other white places. So let's go into this. I'm gonna show you what this guy had to say. So let's go.
Okay.
In South Africa.
All right, let me replay it on. Let me read.
This Afrikaner refugee had a 5-bedroom house and a mining company in South Africa. The way refugees have. He had to leave behind his car, his dogs, and even his mother. The way that families that are in terrible danger and have to flee usually leave behind their mother. He's also a bigot, at the very least an anti-Semite and an Islamophobe. A few years ago, he posted vile, sweeping, stereotypical statements about Jews on the internet, and he also posted clapping hand emojis in response to a post about assaulting Muslims. In his defense, he says that he was standing up for his religion, and he was also on very heavy medication at the time, specifically morphine. And I'm sure we all know that when somebody takes morphine, they suddenly become a hateful bigot. This is well documented. And he says that the land expropriation in South Africa has gone too far. Your land becomes worthless. I can't wait for him to find out that America has basically the same expropriation laws as South Africa. They just call it something else. And the silliest part of all, you might be amused to know that this man who walked away from a quality of life, a standard of life higher than the vast majority of South Africans could ever dream of having, a 5-bedroom house. His surname is Kleinhaus. This Afrikaner ref.
So
Wait,
these are
hold
not,
up. He said clan house?
yeah, clan house. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not bringing over, these people are not just poor, struggling Afrikaners. These people got money and are affluent in South Africa.
Yeah, a 5-bedroom house. And where are they going to come and live now? In the projects?
Right.
Come on.
Exactly. Into another 5-bedroom house in America. Come on.
Right.
Leave
And
your
then he left his mother.
of privilege to come to another country where you're going to be broke, irrelevant, and one hospital bill away from sleeping on the streets, or just another immigrant in Florida. It's just a thought.
Hold on. So let's go. Next one. Uh-oh, I think I lost it. Hold on.
9 white South Africans were granted refugee status in the U.S. after their home country instituted a new law seeking to address land ownership disparities by making it easier for the country to expropriate land. Now, reportedly, 3/4 of privately owned land in South Africa is still in the hands of the white minority, even now, 30 years after apartheid ended. And if you don't know the history of South African apartheid, read a book. Read a book. Google it even. It's not great. You're not in for a good time. So this law that South Africa introduced is supposed to allow South African authorities to take land in public interest without compensation, only in exceptional circumstances. That's what the law states. Like when an area is abandoned. After South Africa said they were going to institute that months ago, Trump posted on Truth Social and said that South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. The United States won't stand for it. We will act. Cool. Keep in mind that these certain classes of people he's referring to are white landowners.
Bro, what? What? So you're muted.
Wow.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he's so concerned. This is not his concern. This is Elon Musk at work right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
get off,
'cause he's from South
ship
America.
all the minorities out, but then bring over the white because they're just so they're just going through it so hard out at my 5-bedroom house.
And their land, because he was the one was a miner. So he was mining probably gold, diamonds, or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got his 5-bedroom house. And so now they're just what they're trying to do, I believe, is bring, because I think that they're probably like trying to have more Caucasians in America, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And bring them over from different countries to take over what the Mexicans were doing and take over that thing, you know?
And you think they really gonna do the jobs like
They're
that?
not fixing to do nothing. I don't
Because
know
it
where
don't seem like they came from that.
they didn't come from that. Right? They did. Who are
No,
these people? Like, who are they? You know what I'm saying?
they didn't come from that. Like doing yards
Labor,
and
labor, and you know, come on.
labor and all of that. No, they were the person behind the people working for them.
But we
So they
have
were like
farmers.
the
We have our own farmers. Let's go. Let's go.
Elon Musk, who we haven't heard from in quite a while, is South African, if you didn't know. And he has and continues to refer to white people possibly losing land that they took as colonizers as a genocide. So that's fun. A claim that has actually been widely discredited multiple times. If you dig even just a little bit deeper, you will see why this, oh no, poor white colonists get expedited refugee status PR stunt is happening. Even as the Trump administration's anti-migrant status has suspended refugee programs and halted arrivals from places like Iraq, Afghanistan, and pretty much all sub-Saharan African countries. It's simple. South Africa is critical of Trump, and he won't stand for that. We can't have that. He kicked out South Africa's ambassador for criticizing him. He paused USAID funding to South Africa in January. He dismantled USAID and programs funding HIV research and treatment in South Africa. This shit, in
correct.
fact, is so ludicrous that the Episcopal Church, the one that has got the closest ties and the longest ties with the United States government, has been like, nah, we're not going to be involved in this. No thanks. Meanwhile, people fleeing actual widespread violence and persecution, they're facing a closed door when they try to get refugee status. So sorry, everybody. Looks like money still talks. And on that note, it's day 113 in a series in which I ask myself, do I have to go to work today? The answer is yes. I don't care. Here we go. Do I have to go to work today?
Anyway, so yeah. And here's the thing: it's not black people that's not liking this. It's the white people. They're like, hold on now, come on now.
Reuters has just reported that white South Africans are arriving in the U.S. as refugees. Meanwhile, we've got brown families getting tear gassed at the border, detained in cages, and outright disappeared, drowning in the ocean because they've been turned away and kidnapped into ICE vans and secret facilities. Moms, dads, kids, poof, gone. No due process, no sunlight, just gone. And yet, white folks from South Africa, welcome to America. I'm sure Musk didn't have anything to do with that. Now, let me be clear. South Africa has its problems. Welcome to planet Earth. But refugee policy is supposed to be about urgency and danger, and not about who looks the most like the people in charge. This isn't about compassion. It's racial profiling. And MAGA, they've been spoon-fed the idea that this is normal, that white people fleeing anti-white persecution deserve sanctuary, while brown and black immigrants somehow are invaders. It's the same old white supremacist playbook, just with newer hashtags. Whiteness gets treated like a passport to safety, a shortcut to sympathy. Everybody else gets the boot, the baton, the blindfold, or worse. And let's not kid ourselves. The US isn't exactly a safe haven anymore. Was it ever? There are people for whom it never was. We've got abortion bans, rising fascism, people being disappeared, and politicians bragging about ignoring rule of law and calling judges who are trying to do their job rogue. So when we throw open the gates for white refugees but toss everyone else into detention or the dark or God knows where else, we don't have to ask whose fear matters, whose freedom counts, and most of all, who gets rescued and who gets erased. Stay curious and don't let them rewrite the story. Speak it. Say it out loud.
Man, that's crazy. So it's like, it's not even the black. So there is some black people that are like saying stuff about this, but the white people are like, hey, hold on now. I voted for you. Voted for you.
Because you know why? Because they pay attention more to the politics than we do. And that's where black people need to get out there and start, paying attention more and more of what's going on in the government. Because if they don't, you don't know. You don't know anything. And I think, and then a lot of people don't watch the regular news anymore. They watch YouTube. A lot of people get their information from YouTube.
But YouTube is being flooded with the Diddy trial right now. We're not even talking about this, right? No one cares about like what's really going on. Roy Hinton Jr., he's still on trial, y'all. Like everything's still going on. I know a Diddy and everything, but yeah, this is really still happening. And then Trump just passed a new law where he's going to allow police brutality to like be like a common thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I gotta find that information about that.
Now, that's not right. Because that scares me for my black sons. Them driving, them just out having, just being normal. And they have to prove themselves even more. I think that's horrible.
Yeah, so now you have like, again, white people like saying, you know what? No, I voted for you for Make America Great Again, not make South Africa great again. Why is he so concerned about South Africa when we got problems over here? You know what I'm saying? We got people over here. We got white farmers over here struggling. Why are we bringing them? So what farm, these so-called farmers, and they're not farmers, by the way, guys. They're not farmers. Some of them work in the tech industry, all type of
And
different.
they have mining. They're in mining. The one guy was a miner. So he owned a mine.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. He owned a mine.
And we paid for him to come over here with his family out of his 5-bedroom house. What are they going to give him the same standard of living as he lived in South Africa? And are our tax dollars going to pay for that? That's crazy. Okay, it's crazy work. Let's go into it. Now I know that said he got like some wild how he talked, but he talked the truth though. Sorry.
Period. They control the economy of South Africa. So if any of these crackers can't get no goddamn job, what they need to do is call up one of these 18 richest goddamn crackers in South Africa and ask them why they didn't hire their punk ass. That's it. Don't come and act like somehow black people got something to do with you not getting no goddamn job. Okay? No, sir. We can't let you get away with that. We can't let you get away with that. Okay? This is ridiculous. But you know, even these Neanderthals over here in the United States is not falling for that. They not falling for that. Many of these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals that voted for I'm talking about voted for Donald.
Man, Seti is so Cro-Magnon Neanderthals. Come on now, what the hell? Seti is crazy. Many of these Cro-Magnon. Listen, the views that are stated in this thing do not represent the views of Alchemizing Energy and DJ Genesis Detroit. I just like the fact that he was actually talking about this, and I'm just using his thing, but like it does not represent my views.
You're right, especially
Right.
him calling racial epithets. Like I'm not into that.
I'm not. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
You got me the
yeah.
Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. Well, I'm not cool with that. So let's go.
Donald Trump, he kicking them in their ass. They losing their property. They losing their jobs, and they voted for his ass. So he ain't got no loyalty to nobody. You know what I'm saying? They looking at it like this is their last opportunity to pillage the United States and shit of what they didn't get in the last election. So they gonna make sure they damn near get it all in the first year. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to make sure they plunder as much as they can in the first year. Then they're going to come on a strong second. It's going to be hell and high water. You understand? Every year. But he going to try to damn near pillage every goddamn thing he didn't get in the last elections. He going to damn sure try to get in this first damn year. For they damn near try to impeach his ass. Because at some point in time, even his own, because if he throwing motherfuckers up under the bus, you know, I mean, shit, you know, even at some point in time, his own constituents is gonna rise up against him, you know, because he ain't gonna give a fuck about nobody. He gonna start throwing their ass under the bus.
Man, it's so.
No, I
crazy.
thought you couldn't even cuss on here like that.
Oh no, you can, as long as it's educational, as long as we can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so most white with money left South Africa already, almost 1 million. You're welcome to buy property in South Africa at rand $19 on the dollar. Hey, listen, if anyone wants to come up here and tell us about what's going on, if you're from South Africa, please come up. If anyone has any information about them, send them over to Europe, someone says.
But why
Ain't
did
no
they
room in
leave?
Europe.
That's the thing. I want to know why.
It must have
they're
been some kind of
leaving.
he had to make a promise or something like that, you know. And it's certain out of the 8,000, there's certain families, because I'm like, okay, there must be something about these particular ones that they chose to come over here, because it's like, if you don't like the South Africans, go F yourself. Okay, listen, I didn't say I don't like the South Africans. I'm just reporting on it. Okay, so don't have to go hard.
Nobody don't say we don't like them now. That's
I've
not
been to
right.
South Africa. South Africa is absolutely beautiful. I love South Africa. I've been to Cape Town. I've been down there. I made a song about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
We just
beautiful.
wondering why they become refugees automatically. I just want to know
There's no
why.
war. There's no war in South Africa right now?
Who is that? Michael?
Where is the
Michael,
war? Is there a
tell
war?
us. Michael, tell us why they get to come over here as refugees.
For free.
I want to know why.
And
Please.
have free housing, like they're a refugee and this, that, the other, like they going through some kind of a war because they land. But the thing is, he said he had a 5-bedroom house, so that means he didn't have no land stolen from him. You understand?
And
what I'm saying?
his mother is still over there.
Yeah, in the 5-bedroom house, probably.
Mm-hmm.
These are rich South Africans that they're bringing over here. They're not
Like,
they're not
tell us,
farmers. They're not
like you up there say, go F yourself. Like, tell us why. Like, why? We just want to react to this video because we're trying to see why. That's all.
We're trying to understand. I have family in Africa. Yeah.
What is that?
142 race-based laws is one of them. Okay.
Okay.
I have family in Africa. Do you have family in South Africa? But hey, come up. I just dropped the link. Come up. You have something to say? Come on, say it. You know, we're just trying to understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have no dog in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't vote for Trump, so I don't even agree with anything he's doing. So, at all.
Yeah, like what is going on over there?
Right? Why are we doing this? You know, I didn't vote for him, so I don't know exactly what the end game of this all thing is. So let's go. So it's not just only Ethiopian. Okay. South Africans do well in America. The richest man in the world lives in America, and he is a South African by birth. I know that. We already said that. So
Mm-hmm.
it came earlier. So let's go.
All right. This is why you can't take these motherfuckers seriously. The Democrats and also the fake news like CNN. These motherfuckers are going crazy because Donald Trump decided to bring 59 people from South Africa.
It wasn't 59,
in
it's
which their
8,000.
farms have been taken away. I've seen the videos of the South African people threaten the white South African. I saw the videos with my own eyes. They chanting shit. So Donald J. Trump decided to bring the people. Just 59. That's it. Not 20 million like Joe Biden did. And the motherfucking news going crazy. CNN. What the fuck? Joe Biden brought in fucking thousands of fucking Haitian refugees and dropped them off in fucking Springfield, Illinois, and not a motherfucking shit from the goddamn news. That's why they have no credibility. Zero credibility. They're having a fucking baby calling Donald Trump race and all that shit because he want to bring some South. The people are being threatened. I saw the motherfucking videos on YouTube. The white South Africans, they are being threatened. The land have been taken away. He 59, not 20 million.
I thought it was 8,000. He said 59. Is it 8,000?
Yeah, I knew it was less than that. So 59, that's not bad though.
Right.
You
How
know,
many?
like,
Okay, let me look it up. How many South African refugees
guys, we just trying to
came to
trying to
America?
see what's going on.
So it's 59. Only 59.
Okay,
So
only
is
59.
this now? So is this like, are people like kind of like exaggerating what's going
Some
on
people
here?
is beefing it up for clicks, beefing it up because 59 is not that
It's like, come on.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's like almost bringing your whole family just back over. Like 59. Come on.
Yeah. Now when it gets up in higher numbers, we're gonna be like questioning, like, hey, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is a test to see how it's received, like a publicity stunt. You know what I'm saying? So we're still finding out things as we go along.
But why are they getting their land taken from them? The 59 people or 59 families.
Well, I don't think that those families had their land taken from them. They just signed up to be a refugee and
Allegedly. Let's see if somebody else knows.
does
Because
anybody else
they're
know?
saying they're getting it taken away from them. And and then you're saying allegedly they're getting it. What did they say?
Michael Atty, if you want to come up and make a statement and talk about what's going on, because we're still learning. And listen, I'm not going to say I know everything about this whole situation. I just want to know. 70,000 people applied, and this is the first batch. So out of 70,000, this is the first batch of people. So they started off with 59, and then they're going to see how the response is. And then as time goes on, it's going to get probably more and more people coming over. Okay. All right. Interesting. That's interesting. That's okay. That's interesting. Let's go what he says. Let's listen to what the rest of his thing.
It's all fake. They're having a fucking baby. It's white supremacy. It's this. Keep in mind again, Joe Biden let in 20 million. Drop whole groups of 20,000 in one community in Springfield, Illinois, a place in Alabama, everywhere. Not a motherfucking word from the fake news. That's why they have no credibility, zero credibility. None whatsoever. It's a shame, man.
No, that's not true. That the news was not reporting on those refugees that were coming from other countries, because you had the whole thing with the Haitian refugees where they were so-called eating dogs and cats and this, that, the other, and it was a whole hoopla about that. So that's not true. So sometimes our people need to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
They
not
over exaggerate.
yeah, like it was 1 million people that came over here. You know. So a
They
new
say,
law in South Africa, land appropriation without compensation. So that means that what does that mean?
oh,
So does that mean that they cannot own land without if they own land and they making like have fruit or whatever, they can't make no money off the land? Because are they going to give them land here for free though? Like, so what's going to happen? Because I would like some land. If they're going to give them land, we got people over here that could like use some land if they're going to do that. Like, why would they get free land over here? And then all the black farmers are like going out of business. What are we doing?
land appropriation. Wasn't that for the slaves supposed to have that too? We supposed to have 30 acres
and
in a
a mule or whatever.
it
I
was
think
so 40 acres in a mule.
but they already gave that to certain people that they did that for. So
When they didn't give it to my family. I have slaves.
I think that there were some people that got it. I've heard something like that to that effect. That the black people, that there were some slaves that did get 40 acres and a mule and something like that.
And then the other, what, they just forgot about the other slaves and just said, or the slaves just didn't know because they was ignorant to reading and all that stuff.
There is no land that is being taken from these people. All of them are afraid of transformation. Many of them want apartheid back. You know what? And I think the same thing is happening
Oh,
here too, though. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to hit the link, please come
oh,
up. I would love to hear more information, especially from a South African that can
they
like,
want apartheid back. That is horrible.
yeah, that's terrible. What
Yeah,
the
that's
hell?
terrible.
Land grabs happens. Lots of refugees from other African countries flooding South Africa from Zimbabwe. But do they get land? So what are they doing? They're coming from the refugees from other countries in South Africa or in Africa are coming into South Africa and trying to claim the land of the white farmers? I heard there was a whole white area where the white people were landowners and farmers like that, and people couldn't black people couldn't even come into that area. That's what I heard. And I guess they just started to come into those areas and say, you know what, that's enough. You know, that you can't just block us from coming into. That's what I heard, but I don't know. So anyone from South Africa, I just dropped the link. I'm gonna drop it again. If you guys got any like clarity you can give on this information, because I'm just playing what I see on TikTok and what I'm hearing from SETI, because I saw him talk about it, and please excuse like the epithets that he's doing, but the main thing is that he's reporting on it, and I didn't know anyone else that was talking about this because everybody's just covering the Diddy trial. So excuse that.
And them are not our views because we don't feel like that about other races
Right. It's
and
just
other
49.
people.
Yeah, because we're mixed ourselves. Come on, this is my cousin. We got like a little bit of we got a little bit of Caucasian blood in us too. It's just 49 people who missed the good old apartheid days. No land is taken from no one. The land their forefathers stole is laying fallow, while the government wants the land for development. Okay, so it's the government.
Oh, so that's it.
It's
That
not the
sounds.
people. So they're refugees from the government of South Africa. So is the government of South
No, the
Africa?
49 people are the ones that want apartheid back because the government wants their land so they can do it for development. And they don't want them to take their land. And they
So
probably don't
is
have no
South Africa
say in
becoming
it.
more communist, like to where the government's going to start owning all the land? That might be what it is. But hell, that's what America's heading towards, anyways. Like pretty soon, all this stuff's going to be owned by the government. That's what the whole aim is like to take all that stuff back, get it owned by the government through the banks. So all they did was move from a government to an oligarchy, because all this is an oligarchy where you have major corporations running the entire country. So they're no better off here. You know, that's the crazy part.
So
Let's
they
hear.
might not be giving them like a right, like, because he said nobody is taking their land, right? Correct. And then it says while the government is trying to develop. What did they say?
Peace in Burkina Faso. Yeah, shouts out to Burkina Faso. You know, I mean, I think that Africa as a whole is starting to do this now. They're starting to like take back the stuff that was like kind of taken through colonialism, and
Yeah.
America is still like on that. So they're like, oh, okay, well, if you can't get it over there, come over here, and now we're gonna like foster you over here. So let's go. Let's see what else he has to say. Let me see. And like I said, these views of SETI do not necessarily represent our views, but he's reporting on it, and I've still got yet to see other
We're
people.
just reacting.
Yeah, we're just reacting.
And only those in his closest circle is gonna have any refuge, and many of them gonna get the goddamn boot. That's just all it is to it. So you dealing with a Neanderthal under Donald Trump that ain't got no loyalty to nobody other than himself and his family. That's it. But let's check out some of these. American Neanderthals. What they got to say about these Boers, these Africaners that's coming over pretending like they refugees. Let's go to work, family.
People hate you. You know that, right?
Let me go to the beginning.
It froze. Okay.
To take these people. Why are they our problem? They're Dutch. They should get sent back to the Netherlands where they belong. I don't want to have to learn how to speak Dutch just so I can order a taco. Look at what they did in South Africa. These are bad hombres. The only job they know how to do is owning the farms that their great-grandparents stole. Why do we have to take these people? Why are they our problem? They're Dutch. They should get sent back to the Netherlands where they belong. I don't want to have to learn how to speak Dutch just so I can order a taco. Look at what they did in South Africa. These are bad hombres. The only job they know how to do is owning the farms that their great-grandparents stole.
Well, you know what? The irony of that, you doing the same thing over here. You see? The only
Oh, whoa.
What
SETI.
you get?
Did you hear what he just said?
They're
Man, he
doing
just
that.
turned that right. He just turned that right against him. He says, "Man, he talking about how they're doing it, but he said y'all did the same thing over here. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay, it's crazy. That's crazy what he just said. But he just made a good point. Hold
that's
on.
coming over pretending like they refugees. Let's go to work, family.
People hate you. You know that, right?
Let me go to the beginning.
We have to take these people. Why are they our problem? They're Dutch. They should get sent back to the Netherlands where they belong. I don't want to have to learn how to speak Dutch just so I can order a taco. Look at what they did in South Africa. These are bad hombres. The only job they know how to do is owning the farms that their great-grandparents stole. Why do we have to take?
Oh,
Why are they our problem? They're Dutch. They should get sent back to the Netherlands where they belong. I don't want to have to learn how to speak Dutch just so I can order a taco. Look at what they did in South Africa. These are bad hombres.
Order a taco. Hell, they're taking all the Mexicans and put them down to South America. Pretty soon they ain't gonna be able to get no damn tacos. What are you talking about?
but didn't you hear what he said? He said that only thing they know how to do is own the land that their forefathers gave to them. So that means to me they're a little bit well off, right? Because they got all this land. Their family like gave it to them. Correct?
Yeah. Well, this person says, Narinda Zeman, most whites in South Africa are all descendants from mainly European countries, similar to like whites in the U.S. We don't speak the Dutch language, so so that's ignorance on his part saying that. So it's listen,
Right.
we're not just only here just we listen we listen we're here to just report it. We're not here to agree or disagree.
The only job they know how to do is owning the farms that their great-grandparents stole.
Well, you know what? The irony of that, you doing the same thing over here. You see, the only thing over here, these Neanderthals over here say this is their plantation. You ain't bringing your going back over there. You understand? And so the irony is, say he only know how to, live in the houses and farms that his great granddaddy stole. But which you ain't know, well, you didn't. You living in the same reality, Neanderthal. But see, they don't want them coming over here. This is their plantation. Yeah, that's how they think about it. They say this their plantation. They don't want no other goddamn European. Why they didn't go to Europe and come over? And they didn't go. They went to they went to the lowest of the low. They went to they went to them Boers down there in South Africa. Ain't nothing but trash. You see, ain't nothing but the lowest of the goddamn low. So you know they up to something. Yeah, you know they up to something when you go get the
His
lowest of the
mouth is
low. But
reckless.
so they Dutch, they don't have nothing to, and so they don't want them over here. They don't want them over here. They over here fighting right now to get, what their ancestors then stole. And so they trying to get as much of that back as possible. You see, and so, but let's go to the next one. Let's check this one out.
Looking refugees I've ever seen. The most nourished, the most well-kept, cleanest, most well-dressed refugees I've ever seen. I've never seen such stunningly healthy, good-looking refugees in my life.
They refugees. When I think of a refugee, nigga, your motherfucking stomach touching your back. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfucker ain't even got shoes on their feet. Then when I think of a damn refugee, that's what I think of. When you think of a refugee, goddamn it, I'm thinking about a motherfucker stomach touching their back. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfucker is dying of thirst. Motherfucking lips chapped. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking lips chapped. Motherfucker ain't got no shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker look like he done walked across the Sahara Desert. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker need a meal now. Yeah, motherfucker ain't ate in weeks. You understand? It's bad. That's refugee. Motherfucker, you got to leave. You can't take it here no more. You got.
So what you think about that?
I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I think like a refugee is the same definition. That's walking across the border. That's walking for days hungry. They need to get out of there.
But you know what? There was a whole time where the borders, they were just letting people in from China and everywhere. They were just coming over, just back to back,
Mm-hmm.
And Biden was letting that happen. So I mean, I don't know, like, but when it comes down to Caribbean refugees, they've traveled for miles.
The thing I was looking at with refugees, people would get a ticket from China, fly down to South America or Mexico, and then walk across the border. I never understood that. Did you?
Oh, and have like and it costs thousands of dollars, like $10,000.
Right. It costs a lot of money to just
But
fly
they
over
have enough
here.
money to spend their own money to do this. We're spending money to bring them over here.
Right.
They
Mhm.
spent their money to come and do that and come across the border illegally. We are spending our money, our tax dollars, to bring them over here. That's the problem. I'm like, okay, what's going on? You need to go and
What
look at happened in Zimbabwe. It's the same thing. Really.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Bob
Bob
Marley
Marley.
knew Ashe. Let's go.
Got to go. Here these motherfuckers show up. They look like they just come out the Benihanas. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker been up in the Benihanas and shit, eating good. They come there, steaks and goddamn and eggs and all type of fries and shit and beers and shit. Yeah, they look like they well fed. The other motherfucker, he was obese. Fuck is you a refugee, motherfucker, and you obese. And what the fuck is we dealing with here? Is we fools? And so and so the thing is, you got to pay for these motherfuckers. You just kick some motherfuckers out because they freeloading on taxpayers' money, and then you bring these motherfuckers over here and you replace. I mean, you really, the motherfuckers you kicking out, you replacing with the same situation. You just pick and choose which ones you want here. You go get some filth from one of the most notorious regimes in all of world history. You go get filth. Call them refugees. And so that the taxpayers got to pay. This don't make no sense. And then they're going to come over here, undermine the peoples over here. They're going to undermine your employment. They're going to undermine your tax. You're already going through shit because he's over here putting tariffs on every goddamn body. And so now you paying extra on everything in the country. You paying extra. I believe, you know what? I honestly believe Donald Trump and China is in cahoots to fleece the world. You see what I'm saying? It's motherfuckers at the top say, let's pause this motherfucker for a minute so we could get us about, so we can get us about 50 billion a piece. You see, let's pause this shit. Let's act like we're in a tariff war. Listen to me when I'm telling you. Let's act like we're in a tariff war. You see? And so we're going to raise the price on it. I'm going to keep you some shit over there. I ain't going to it's going to be bare, but I'm going to keep you some shit over there just enough where you could charge motherfuckers 3 times the amount of what it's worth. We're going to make us a quick 50 billion a piece. You understand? For all the elites, we're going to make us a quick 50 billion a piece. And then we're going to get this shit back rolling, but we're going to get us 50 billion a piece, and then we'll shoot the tariffs down. You see what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what's happened with that tariff. Because, all of a sudden now the tariff is not even, they're about to end the tariff. Come on now.
I seen that too. Where they going to end it?
Let me tell you something. One thing about SETI is that he might be cussing and he might say some wild stuff, but he be right on the and I know I have some white people in the audience, and I hope that it's not offending you. Just let it roll off your shoulders. But I'm letting you know, but if you're from another country, he's saying what's exactly, he talked the truth. You know what I'm saying? When it really come down to it, all the other racial epithets, put that out, let it roll over you. Listen to what he's saying though. He's telling you what's happening in America. There's tariffs in America. How do you have enough money? You gotta we're in a deficit. Aren't we in a deficit? How do we have money to hire to bring people over from South Africa, and we don't even have enough money for our own thing? We have to put tariffs on other countries just to run. You know what I'm saying?
And there's people going homeless.
Listen,
and living from check to check.
Let's talk about what's really going on in America, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The welfare system is falling apart. The Social Security. I mean, I paid into Social Security. It might not even exist when I turn 65. And every check I do, every time I work, they taking all this damn Social Security. It takes 3 to 5 people to actually make money off Social Security. Hey, what's up, Mimi Blaze? I want to just thank everybody that's in the chat today. XRP Bandit. I want to thank Jason Frank L. I want to thank No Name. No, Nana Mama, Nona Mama. Our brothers and sisters in South Africa, Narinda Zeman. Listen, like I said, we don't necessarily agree with the name calling or whatever, but the main thing I wanted to get is the actual, what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So please don't take all that to heart.
Right, because we don't feel like that.
Right. But SETI he's real though. When it really comes, he's from Detroit. Detroit is gonna drop it to you real. If you want to really hear what's really going on, you might want to listen to a person like Seti because he might say whatever, but he gonna tell exactly what's going on for real. So yeah, Detroit, they not gonna play with you. So let's go.
We'll tell you we'll do away with the tariffs. You see, but we're gonna get this goddamn 50 billion apiece. They're doing this shit, you know, and then they're gonna fleece and then bring these people over. And so you paying for them. You paying for the refugees. You paying, it's coming out of taxpayers' money. You see? And so this is robbery. This is highway robbery. They robbing and fleecing the people. It's a shakedown on your pockets and on your intelligence too, to believe that these motherfuckers with that type of statistics, and like I said, which I did, and I'm gonna continue to say that the unemployment rate in South Africa is 32%. Damn, that's like 1/3. 32%. That's 1/3 of the nation is unemployed. So when this motherfucker say he couldn't get a job for a year, well, what about this other goddamn 8.3 million motherfuckers that ain't got no job? Can they apply for refugee status? You understand? Most of them is black.
Why wasn't there no black refugee farmers? Why was it only the white ones? That's weird, you know? There's no black
Because
farmers
just like
in
he,
South Africa?
but remember what the guy said earlier, it was because they wanted the government wanted to develop their land. So they're taking their land from them. And I think that's what they're mad at, and they want apartheid back, I guess, to keep it in line so they can keep their land. That's the only thing I got out of it, I think.
I think that what they're doing exactly what Jason Frank L said is that they're trying to build up enough people over here from South Africa.
Wait, hold on. I got it. Go ahead.
To then when he just to like, you know, to sway the voters and stuff like that, you know. I understand and thank you for allowing me to speak. We're all human beings. Why must one suffer for being born white? Something you had no control over. Even so, let's look at each other as humans. Listen, so like I said, it's not about what he's saying. It's not about the other things he's saying. It's about what he's really breaking it down. He's breaking the other aspect down that we as America are not in shape to even be. We're over here suffering from our own stuff, and then now we have to pay our tax dollars to bring over refugees from a country where these people are not even really struggling like that. This guy has a 5-bedroom house. They're not bringing over like the worst of the worst. They're bringing over people that already got money. You know what I'm saying? If he in it owning stuff, doing this, doing that, got it already.
And
All
please
about
don't
race.
take it like we're up here talking about, white Americans or white people or anything like that, because we love everybody. We're just trying to see what's going on.
Right, for sure. Let's go. Let's listen.
This has got to be I mean, boy, I tell you, these Neanderthals is dumb. If it wasn't the fact that they had a military and that ain't gonna last for long, to kind of force people into a certain position, and as far as intelligence, y'all can give it up. It's a wrap for y'all motherfuckers. That's why y'all crying on the internet. Because y'all done ran out of whatever little intellect you thought you had. Y'all done ran out. Y'all ain't got nothing else to throw at a motherfucker. We far more advanced. Ain't no way you gonna play nobody with no bullshit like that. This is bullshit. You see? So 8 million people, and I guarantee you, I didn't do that. I wonder how, I know it's 8. Wait a minute. Watch this. Let me see if I could get a number.
Please get a number.
I want to know how much of that, 8 million. The unemployment rate in South Africa. That's crazy. South Africa's unemployment rate is currently 31.9%.
Now, what is America's? Let's look it up.
Damn.
All right,
That's
hold on.
crazy.
What is the let's look that up. Okay, let's look it up. %4.2%.
So we're low, and they're 31. That's
Yeah,
high. Mm-hmm.
right. So, but how many of those are white people versus black, and why is it that they get carte blanche to come over here? And from what they said, somebody in the audience said the 70,000 people applied for this visa to come over here as a refugee, and these are
And
the
there only 49 people got accepted for
so
the
far.
first batch.
So far, the first batch. That's
Mhm.
and this is I think this is like to test it out to see what people are gonna do, if it's gonna create like some kind of unrest, and then when people don't do nothing, then now they're gonna like the floodgates are gonna open up. That's what I believe, you know. So let's go.
But do you think when they come over here, will they? They're probably so used to their ways over in South Africa. Are they gonna like it here?
Or are they gonna be racist? Are they gonna come over here and bring that racist, like, you know, because South Africa is a racist place, from what I understand. You know, these people still want apartheid back, like people said in the comments. That
They
these people
said satellite project, internet.
programming. So the guy that he said, the guy was a programmer. He's not even like a farmer.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's go.
The youth unemployment rate, specifically for those aged 15 to 24, remains a significant concern, hovering around 60 fucking percent.
60%.
Whoa.
And that's not just the white people. These are it's probably more or less than the black people that are unemployed.
so they're saying over there in Africa, the white people are the minority, and the black people are the majority. Those white people must be all. I can't read it
4,000
because
farmers have been murdered in South Africa. Hypocrite. Listen, don't get upset with us. We're just reporting. Listen, whoever this person is, Tony, okay, you don't have to call us hypocrites. Listen, we're just reporting what the information is. We don't necessarily believe everything. We're just like trying to get the information. So if you know something, I dropped the link.
because you said not all South Africans are racist.
Right. But from what I understand, it's a
Oh, what I'm smoking is pineapple mango.
right.
That's all.
Oh, he said what you smoking. Right. Okay.
Just pineapple mango, no drugs, no diddy, baby.
Okay, so someone just said, all right, he says, instead of sitting in America complaining about America and continuing racial division in America, you are free to go back to Africa and make your own country better. No one is stopping. Really?
That's funny stuff to me. I mean,
Hilarious.
come on
Troll. You're
now.
being a troll now. Come on now. We can go over to Africa and just start our own country. You sound stupid. No, we cannot. That sounds like a dumb thing to say, and stop saying stupid shit. Let's go on. Let's go.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
that's trolls.
The youth unemployment rate, specifically for those age 15 to 24, remains a significant concern, hovering around 60%. And you can better believe that the majority of all of those people are black. So how in the fuck can one Neanderthal who say he can't get a motherfucking job, who is he trying to blame that on? Who the fuck is he trying to blame that on? If that's the case, if black people had anything to do with this Neanderthal, now, if they had that kind of power, why would the damn unemployment numbers be so high for their own people? If they had that kind of goddamn control, you see, so that's a fucking illusion. That's a fucking illusion. So once you do that research, they shut that shit down. That shit been shut down. Okay? Them motherfuckers over there living far better. They just like any other Neanderthal in a colonized country. They living far better than the colonized. Believe that.
And what Mimi said, he said, look, this was our country until it got taken away from us. Anybody know that there was already black people here before it got colonized? So let's stop that.
Thank God America offered them refuge from South Africa. Thank God. They looked like they could not have even stood another day there. Thank God.
So it's not just the black people talking shit, it's the white people in America.
You have had to deal with.
It seemed like a lot of Caucasian is up there telling more.
But they mad because they the one that voted his ass in. They voted for him to do this. So they thought that, oh, okay, we're in the clear. They got rid of all the Mexicans and all the people of color. Okay, sending all millions of people back to their country. All right, but now you're gonna start doing this, and now they're like, okay, well, what happened? They thought that, oh, okay, well, now that you got all them away, now you're gonna help us, the poor whites in America. But instead, now he's bringing over rich whites from South Africa that can pass the test and be able to come over here the first 59. Then probably later on, going to be 70,000 people. Come on now, come on now.
I really don't understand the whole thing.
What you have had to deal with these last few years. We respect the long tradition of your people and what you have accomplished over the years.
What you have accomplished? Yeah, he said we respect. You hear what this? I guess this is a United States ambassador. You understand? Listen to what the fuck he say to these Neanderthals when they get off the plane. Listen to this shit.
Welcome to the United States of America. We respect what you have had to deal with these last few years. We respect the long tradition of your people and what you have accomplished over the years.
What have they accomplished over the years?
I'm just going to go ahead and say it if no one else will. Go back to your country. We don't want you here. Do not expect a warm welcome.
You hear what she said?
Welcome to the United States.
They don't want you here.
We respect.
That's their own white brothers and sisters. They say they don't want their ass over here.
Respect the long tradition of your people and what you have accomplished over the years.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it if no one else will. Go back to your country. We don't want you here. Do not expect a warm welcome.
Come on now. He said, damn. You know what I'm saying? So you think it's us that's the bad guy, honey. The white people over here is the ones that's tripping. They're like, hell,
because they the ones that saying all the different things about it. We just trying to see what's going on.
Right. right. I said, what's going on? The white people don't want the South Africans over here. That's the people, right? I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's see what's up.
Yeah, and we're trying to get a better understanding.
Telling y'all the truth. Don't get mad at the messenger letting y'all know that, hey, these people don't want y'all over. The white people don't want y'all over here. He's blaming it on no one. The government does not allow jobs on merit but skin. 142 race-based laws agents against.
I gotta look this up. Race-based laws. That is crazy.
So are you saying that in South Africa that there's 142 race-based laws where they cannot hire white people? Then how the
We
hell are you?
ain't
How is
we
the
ain't
hell?
said nothing. What the
Right, right. We ain't said nothing. All we did is just report it and let y'all know that this is what they feel, bro. Let's go.
So there it is, family. Donald Trump ain't even, he ain't even, he ain't even listening to his own base. We're gonna talk about tomorrow where they're coming over. I mean, these white boys and white people losing their farm. They need to lose them because they really ain't nothing but a mirror image of what them motherfuckers doing over there. But don't bring your ass over here. It's already some shit popping off over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You
thank
ain't got.
you.
I mean, you in the way. You really just literally in the fucking way. You're in the motherfucking way, and you need to go home because it ain't gonna turn out one way or another. It ain't gonna turn out because ain't nobody want their ass over here. You see what I'm saying? And so that's not a good position to be in. They're gonna have to hide them. They're gonna have to what they call that shit when you had to hide a motherfucker when they get to snitching on motherfuckers, the witness protection program. They're gonna have to put them motherfuckers in the witness protection program, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to hide them motherfuckers, and still people gonna know who they is as soon as they hear that goddamn accent. They're gonna know exactly who they is. Yeah, yeah. They gonna know exactly who the hell they. Yeah, they're gonna have to put them in the witness protection program. Yeah, that's for real. But anyway,
But yeah, all we doing is reporting it, letting y'all know what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at us, okay? Don't kill the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. This is Tariq Nasheed. Let's go.
You here today. This is the land of the free, and we know that all of you have faced. I'm Chris Landau. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States. This is my friend Troy Edgar. Yeah, I'm the.
Hold on now.
Oh wow. You see what Nick said?
Recently, 2 black women were murdered by a farmer in the sun, and their bodies were fed to their pigs. They don't talk about it because they're black.
Wow, that is so not right.
I'm a white South African woman, and yes, it's a struggle to find work here. I'm not rich. I don't know anything about apartheid. To go to bed is scary at night. It's not nice at all. Sorry you feel so. Hey, listen, I don't feel anything. I'm not in.
Wow. That is so sad though.
And
I
listen, if you
mean,
want to come up and talk about what's going on, I'm gonna drop the link again. Go, y'all. Listen, anyone that wants to talk
that's
about what's
sad.
going on, I just brought it up, and whoever wants to talk about what's happening, because I don't know. I'm over here. There was a whole thing where the South Africans, the black South Africans, was against the black people over here because of a parade. That's the last thing
Thing
I heard.
is we don't get enough information about over there, so we
We
don't
don't.
know what's
We
going
don't
on.
know. So this is like the
And
best thing.
we just wanted to get some perspective of what's going on because all we hear of is white refugees coming from Africa, and then they get the golden ticket. Anything else, we don't know. We don't know how it is over there. And the one lady, what
Well,
was her name?
this is part of the research, sir. This is called a case study. Anyone that want to come on and say something, because like first of all, you can't trust the media. You can't trust the research because the research come from the media, sir. The media is talking about P. Diddy right now. They're not talking about this. You don't get it. American media, how it works in America is that there's a main story that flows through everything, and everything is encompassed by that and drowned out. So if
But
you
what
want,
what is so but it's what is so wrong with 2 black women? We're 2 black women, and we want to know what's going on.
and
I don't
nobody
think
has come up
nothing is
yet. I
wrong.
done dropped the link several times, right? You understand what I'm saying? Come up and say something. Because my thing is that only thing we have is like the people that are reporting it. Right now, there's very few people in America that is reporting it. Right now, everybody is covering the Diddy trial.
Why are you talking about these people? Why not talk about
Us issues? What do you mean by that?
What is us issues? Please tell me.
Honey, go throughout my page and go watch us issues on the other. Like, I have a lot of stuff about us issues. Okay.
Like black issues?
Yeah, I tried. Like I did. I covered the Roy Hinton trial. You don't even know. You knew. Don't you knew? Okay. And by the way, please like and subscribe, and please subscribe and like the
I think
channel.
this affects everybody.
It does, because if people are
It
coming
just
over here,
don't affect us.
it affects us because we're the ones paying for them to come over here. What do you mean talking about us people? Are you crazy? Oh Lord, oh God, the audacity happened. I'm not gonna read that. That's crazy. So I'm just letting y'all know that this is what's going on. Let's play it. This is the when they came.
Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. Again, welcome. It's so great to have you guys here.
I know you've gone through a long flight. I cannot believe there are babies and children who are actually so well behaved. This is much better than mine are. So bless you for that. And you know, I think it's so happy. It makes me so happy to see you with our flag in your hands, and that flag symbolizes liberty for so many of us. Many of us, our families have had a journey not that different from the journey that you are embarking on today. My own father was
No, they
Come on
didn't
now.
say
Come
that.
on now. Oh,
and
come on.
had to leave his country when Hitler came in the
What? When Hitler came in?
Wow, he looked young, or that was his.
There
He
was
was a little kid.
listen, but you are already paying millions. We were outraged then. Why do you think that you think we were cool with that? Y'all need to like do some y'all tell us to do some research. Y'all do some research. We wasn't cool with that. It was all over the news. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. You know what I'm saying? All this other crazy stuff. And that's why Trump got voted back in, because of the thing that Biden was bringing up all these illegal aliens. And so now that he's replacing those with these, and then he's up there acting like, yes, we all had the same struggle when we went through when Hitler's regime, and I guess this guy must be Jewish. I don't know
much for coming here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Speaking
God.
of South Africa, family, did y'all see they allowed the U.S. just brought in some white Afrikaners, some white, quote, South African refugees, unquote. They just brought in some white South African refugees, and I'm saying refugees very tongue-in-cheek. Ain't no damn white refugees. Refugees from what?
Before we get into that, what do you think about what that speech was? That was interesting.
Man, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm reading what they said. Too much hate. It looks false to me, fake to me. How does it look fake to you?
Well, no, like the whole thing looked like a publicity stunt. Like they're doing it. Like why they have them all spread out like that? I think that they're going to do that at first, and then they're going to start bringing them in without the whole hoopla of the media. This is just the beginning.
They said they're looking for a safe haven because
But
they
they
hate
have
to be
harmed a lot.
under government. That's deep.
That's crazy. How they got it set up right. The people standing there looking all like this with the American flag, and it's totally a publicity stunt. Holland don't want nothing to do with them, so the European countries don't want to deal with them.
That's crazy.
If it's too much hate, you must be looking at the white eyes. If it's bothering you that much, there's the door. Ashe. Ashe. The African National ANC, I'm not sure what the African totally mismanaged South African politically and economically speaking as South African minority. They could already be here. They could. Let's go into it. Let's go.
I thought they are. They brought them already.
I don't know. I'm still finding out.
They're running around here talking about the white South Africans who were persecuted. Ain't no damn persecution over there. That's all propaganda. Listen, there's like 4.5 million white people in South Africa. There's a reason only 50 of them came over here. Because they don't need to come over here. White people in South Africa are living lovely. They ain't being persecuted over there. I've been over there. I done seen it with my own. They are living lovely. They ain't about to leave. So yeah, you got a few poor, damn near homeless South African trailer park white folks who they brought over. That's why it's only a handful of them. Let's get that bullshit straight. They're running around here with all of this propaganda, talking about you. They're safe.
All right, so it's not about black. I can start a business because I'm white. They can take any of our property without compensation and tired of corruption. So there we go. They're tired of the corruption. Let's go.
Saving them from genocide and persecution. You know, damn genocide going on over there. Even according to international standards, there's no systematic. See, genocide means intentional, systematic extermination of a group based on race, ethnicity, or nationality. There's zero of that. South African government or none of their civil societies, they're not orchestrating any mass extermination campaign against the white farmers. That's their whole lie, talking about the white farmers. They've been murdered based on their race. That is a lie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, that is a big, fat, wet dog smelling lie. They are not being murdered based on their race. The white, it's like 50 white people per year who might get killed over there, which is basically way less than the proportion of black people who get murdered. There's just a high murder rate over there. People, it's like damn near 30,000 black people who are killed over there. You got 50 a year who's killed, and oh my God, it's a genocide. No, it's not. They're just not exempt from crime. There's crime that happens in South Africa, and they're not exempt from it. White farmers, they're less likely to be murdered than the average black South African. So the crime statistic, it showed that the murder rate for the white farmers is lower than the average for the black South African citizens. The majority of the murder victims are poor and black. Yeah, and they just have a crime rate over there. Their crime rate, it affects everybody. Overall, they have a high crime rate: robbery, murder, farm attacks. That, and out of the farmers who get killed, black farm workers get killed too. Yeah, more than the white landowners. Most farm attack victims are actually black. Contrary to these white supremacists, the black farm workers, they are victims of that rural violence. That's robbery, murder, intimidation.
Okay, I don't know what language this is, but I don't know what that is saying. Il proud now clomp clack or whatever. I don't know what that is. So you have to say that in English. Hit the Google Translate. I don't know what this is. Some political leaders like Malema is chanting Kelly and Boer, Kelly the farmer, with no pushback from the ANC. This guy is talking out of his behind. Okay, let's go. So now the colonizers and usurpers are claiming victimhood. Make it make sense. The math is not mathing. I applied. You say you applied. Okay. It's Afrikaans. So we don't listen. We don't know. We're told through the media Afrikaners.
Huh. So that's a difference. Afrikaans is white, and then Africans is black.
Yeah, and then
that's how you distinct. That's how they distinct.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So.
But yeah, all of that's ignored, and they're pushing the white genocide claim. They're not killing these white farmers and taking their land. That is a damn lie. These alt-right groups, it's all about I'm white and I say so. You know, that was meant, and it worked to store white global fear to justify immigration privileges to the white South Africans.
Okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
So that what he said, whatever he said, whatever he said, that's in African. I don't know what language it is. I don't know. Where's that?
Okay.
Where's that? E prout new com clomp cock. whatever that was that's a. Most victims of crime are black because most of the perpetrators are black due to demographics. Sounds about right. I'm South African. 84 murders a day. Oh my God! A reported
Wow.
G rape every few minutes. 142 racial laws. Afrikaans is own South African culture. I
Wow.
got no clue at all. Listen. I don't, and I don't mind admitting it. So what? Y'all don't have a clue what's going on in America.
That's not even supported by the international human rights campaigns.
You
They
don't.
don't. Yeah, the UN, they've dismissed genocide campaigns because it's not true. The UN is saying ain't no damn genocide going on over there. There's no credible body has said that there's a white genocide in South Africa. None. And look, when I went over there, which was a little under a decade ago, but still, wealthy white people are still owning the majority of the land in South Africa. White South Africans, they are a small percentage of the population. They own the vast majority of the arable land right now in South Africa. Do not let these people fool you. There's a reason why only 50 of them came over here, family. Only 50 goddamn people came. They're living good. They ain't about to leave that. If it was so bad, it'd be a whole boatload of them flocking over here. And a lot of some of the white farmers who've been killed, they've been killed by other white people. That's another thing too. But these people are connected. They're armed. The black folks over there ain't got weapons like that. They're over here throwing chicken bones at people. You got white people over there with all types of weapons. These people ain't powerless. They're not persecuted. They got way more guns than the black people over there. And in fact, you'll see a lot of videos of white people beating up on the black locals there. They'll be over there beating their asses over there. Don't let them run that propaganda on you. And that refugee claim, boy, that's a real reach. Labeling these white Afrikaners as some kind of refugees. That's a racist double standard.
As a South African, I can affirm there's no white genocide here, and there's no property or farms being taken away without compensation from anyone that's a white supremacist bullshit. So yeah.
Boom, mic drop right there.
Right. I wish I had like the. Do I have other thing? Oh, hold on, I'm gonna say that.
Boom.
Right here. We listen to Colonel Chris Wyatt from the U.S. bring us our daily news because our media is just lying about everything. Listen, we are being inundated with the P. Diddy trial. So this is probably the only channel you're going to hear about stuff like this, like really getting down to it. So I'm going to keep reporting on this because I'm like, they are running away from their sins. Oh, wow.
And let's cut it because this. You ready to cut or are you ready to go forward?
Oh no! Listen, we're about to like cut it because I gotta go pick up my kids. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to like go to these and go a little bit further and about 3:15, and then we're gonna cut it. Listen, you guys, please subscribe. We're gonna like do a part 2 of this probably tomorrow because this was like listen, subscribe so that you guys can hit the and then I want people
and
to like, and then listen, I want you guys to come up and hit the link. I want to hear from South Africans. So whatever you got to do to get yourself together, I want to hear from y'all because we don't know what's going on because we're being inundated with police brutality stuff, like media. We're getting inundated with the P. Diddy trial. I mean, we don't really know what's going on. So please don't be up here. You know what I'm saying? So please, come up here. Consider this a safe space to speak about what's going on there with this whole thing,
and thank you for coming on our channel to see what's going on because we're going to report and we're going to go through different type of topics so we can see what's going on in the news and around the world. So
they just passed a law that they can take land without compensation. The same thing is happening here in America. That's what y'all don't know. There are black farmers over here where their farms are just being taken.
So how about that?
Yeah. So the same thing that you guys are happening over there it's even crazier over here because you have the government that's just swooping down, and you have African farmers that are just, and also it's the other way around where you have like the white people that are like burning up the black farms. And I can show you that, and I'll get that ready for tomorrow. If y'all want to come back here tomorrow, same time, about 1 o'clock, we'll go through all that. We will, because America is running like an oligarchy. Everything is all about like, money and capitalism and this, that, the other. Just compensation. Why
Did
should
you
they go
see?
home and Haitians and Hispanic with no talent should stay?
Did you
Well,
see
we
where they
haven't
said
seen
the
those. Go ahead.
They said the P Diddy trial was just a distraction
Yeah, it's a
for
psyop. It's
other
100%
things.
psyop. Like, listen, it's so bad. In America, if you go on YouTube, all you see is P Diddy, P Diddy, P Diddy. I think the news have stopped reporting everything else, but P Diddy.
Wow. Did you
So
see what they just said?
what?
20% white population in the US control 80% of the economy. 7% of white South Americans control 80% of the economy.
Wow,
Y'all have
no power.
no power.
Exactly. So let's go. Sleep time. So 1 o'clock tomorrow, we're gonna come back to this and we're gonna talk about this some more. And I really want y'all to come back here. And I know it's gonna be late, but anyone that wants to come up and get on the panel, I could
Let's
start a little bit. I
go.
could do it at like 12, but I like to like do my things in odd number. We'll do it at 12 because that's the number 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's let
Tomorrow
everybody
at
get
12
their lunch
official.
in
Yeah.
and then come back.
So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this because I gotta go pick up my kids or whatever from school, but let's go.
Because black people who are real refugees, when they flee war or anything like that, they're not treated the same as the white supremacist groups. And what's interesting also, listen, putting everything in the historic context, there was a colonization and a theft of the land there. People kind of ignore the fact that the white supremacists brutally took the people's land and brutally subjugated the people with apartheid. So the people are like, hey, we don't want no more of that. The white settlers went over there and stole the damn land from the indigenous African people. And then they implemented a very specific white supremacist regime for decades. And all of the black activists, they would jail them for decades, Mandela and all of those brothers, Biko and all of those families. So yeah, the land reform debate over there is about restorative justice. It's
Thank
not
you,
about
Jay.
revenge or genocide. It's about, hey man, give us our shit back. And the fact that people want their land back, they haven't even taken it. They're not taking shit from them. It's not black people sitting over there running those farms like that. It's like, oh God, there's a genocide. They're talking, oh, it's a genocide, so we got to call it a genocide preemptively. Them hitting up farms, that's not about race. It's about, hey, nigga, you got some chickens and some cows over there that I can eat instead of me eating this damn bushmeat all the time, nigga. I want some of that fried chicken. So I'm about to steal your chickens and make me some South African Popeyes. That's what that's about. It ain't about you being white. I'm about to make a 2-piece and a biscuit with this livestock you got, nigga. That's what that's about. All right, let me get some more folks in here. Let me get more people in here, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a lot of people in here. Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins in the building. Richard, what's up, Richard? Richard, what's happening?
How are you, Tariq?
I'm doing good, Richard. How are you?
I am good. Thank you I think right now I'm as sober as I can possibly be. Usually when I do come onto your videos and stuff like that, I feel I might be a little bit tense and I just be like, oh, did I embarrass myself?
If you can speak louder, that would be great, though.
Louder?
Yeah, there you go. I can hear you better.
Okay.
Yeah. You're kind of low.
All right.
So what's going on now, Richard? Are you from Britain or Australia?
I am from Home of the Brave. I'm from London.
London. Okay, you're from Britain. Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, yeah, I'm from Somalia. Fortunately, I got refugee status, and it's like I won the lottery.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Who would want to be from where I'm from?
Okay. God damn, Richard.
I'm not. I'm just saying that.
Man, get your ass. Go make you some injera bread, man. Okay. Damn. We'll get you some injera. Okay. All right. Y'all raise your hand. God damn. Don't call me drunk. You're supposed to be drinking a spot of tea. Not a spot that you said. You disrespected my children. I don't like that at all. So I kind of gave you a crazy pass, but now I don't. You from, by the way?
I'm from New England.
New England, okay. By way of what? Are you Irish? I hear a UK accent.
Yes.
Okay. So what's on your mind?
That sounds creepy.
Soda bread. That's what we would bake.
You did what?
Just bake another loaf of soda bread.
Oh man.
Please.
Thank
I
you.
don't want to hear.
Thank you for listening, guys, because this is
Everybody's crazy as catch.
we already listened to what he had to say. Cause
All right. So anyway,
that sounds
so-
creepy. I'm just over here breaking.
So listen, you guys. So listen, make sure that you like and subscribe the video. Come back tomorrow. Make sure so you like and subscribe so you can get like the notification to come back. And I want the Africans, white, black, and otherwise, to come up here and talk about this because they're in America right now. We are being inundated with the Diddy trial, and I want to begin to talk about this because I want to have an understanding about what's going on. So please like, subscribe. When you hit the notification, be ready to come up. I want other people to come up here and tell us what's going on in South Africa. We're concerned. You know what I'm saying? We don't want the whole narrative to be just about that the white people just don't like y'all or whatever, blah, blah, blah. We don't know what's going on and we just saying this and saying this racism stuff. No, let's come up here and talk.
Let's come and talk.
Put one in the chat if you guys agree with what I'm saying. If you guys are willing to come up here tomorrow, come on up and talk about what's really happening. If you don't want to put a
1 o'clock.
Yeah. 1 o'clock. So it's Central Time. So it might be time to bed for some of y'all, but thank y'all so much. Thank you. I'm gonna give y'all some shouts out. Thank you, Jason Franklin L for coming up here. Andre Betji, is that how you say it? Why does Americans not give their land back because it's theirs from the beginning? Ashe. PP Bob, thank you for coming here. Native Americans of different ethnic groups go to Choctaw Creek, etc. But okay, but now I know where to find you. I'll be tuning in. Thank you so much. Again, Andrew Betji. Yeah, thank you guys for joining so far. I appreciate your time. PP Bob, 55 million wiped out in 100 years, only 3 million Native Americans left. Ashe. With that being said, shouts out. Thank you guys for joining and being a part of this. Yes, Jay Scott, he put the one in the chat. Will you on being here tomorrow? We will continue this tomorrow, part 2 of the South Africans versus like the U.S. government. I'll change the title. Let's go. Peace.
Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, ooh. Trying to mission. I'm on a mission. On a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. transition in my life. I'm a mission.